Good afternoon, KELOLAND. This is forecast first. Tonight, temperature down to 10 degrees in Sioux Falls. A few flurries out there. We're watching some of that activity now around Aberdeen. Rapid City, you're down to 23 overnight tonight. Tomorrow, a blend of sun and clouds, but overall, pretty pleasant day. Temperature in Sioux Falls, 27, and it looks like the Aberdeen area, 24, Pierre, 35, Rapid City, 55. Dry weather continues there. Complete look at the weekend and a preview to Christmas. That and more next on First at 4.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, First at 4.
Two teenagers plead guilty in connection with the death of a Huron woman. We have the details straight ahead.
Plus, the progress crews are making while battling the McGee fire.
And we're going to hear from Iowa's new lieutenant governor. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. The two teens accused in the shooting death of a Huron woman are headed to prison. 41-year-old Nicole Klisch was shot and killed at an apartment in May. This week, a judge sentenced both Rihanna Caban and Michael Lee to 25 years in prison.
In June, authorities said that the girl and the boy were 15 years old at the time. According to the victim's obituary, Caban was her daughter. Both teens pleaded guilty to one count of first-degree murder in October.
Crews are making progress battling a fire southwest of Rapid City. As of this morning, the McGee fire was 50% contained and is just over 46 acres in size. The fire was reported just after midnight Thursday morning. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
A Custer woman has been identified in a December 10th crash east of Sturgis. A pickup was heading west on I-90 when the driver lost control. The pickup went into the median and rolled. The driver and the passenger were taken to a nearby hospital. The passenger, 80-year-old Marjorie Smith, died from her injuries on Monday.
Let's get to our weather now. It was a little cold out there today.
It's cold, but you know what? No wind. It felt a lot better today, Brian.
The wind makes all the difference. I agree with that. Well, you know, this afternoon we are dealing with a couple of new things here. We've got just a little bit of activity on radar. Let's have a look at that around Aberdeen, and you can see what appears to be some snow coming in from the northwest. Now, it looks impressive, but you got to remember that a lot of this is getting evaporated as it approaches the ground. In fact, I was going to bring out one of these little tools we have just to look at that. So let me show you this. This is a little product that we can look 3D into the skyline there. And you can see all this blue there. We're kind of brushing back and forth through this. Look at this as it gets to Aberdeen. You see all this low hanging blue there? Well, that represents basically the snow that's falling and then evaporating, most of it, before it hits the ground. Now, here's a little interesting twist to this. I was just looking at the Aberdeen camera, and by golly, we got a few flurries there, and you could actually see what I'm talking about. There's the kind of the low, dark cloud there in the distance, and then again, just a few of those passing flurries. So we'll use that term festive flurries tonight. That'll apply directly to this forecast. All right, well, let's take a look at the rest of the weather. You can see some of those flurries trying to nudge down towards Sioux Falls, and that is worth a mention here tonight. I just don't expect a lot there. Temperatures 17 Sioux Falls, so we've recovered a little bit here. 30 now in Valentine. Look at Custer, 52, much warmer in the southwest, and I do think that's a sign of things to come this weekend. And as mentioned, not a lot of wind out there this afternoon. Forecast low tonight, 10 in Sioux Falls, 8 degrees in Aberdeen, 14 in Pierre, and 23 Rapid City. We'll get into the complete weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brian. Iowa's new lieutenant governor is ready to get to work. Lieutenant Governor Chris Conoyer says she's ready to lead the state alongside Governor Kim Reynolds. The two sat down with our CBS affiliate in Des Moines for their first television interview. Laura Terrell is at the Iowa Capitol with their vision for the future of the state.
Having raised my children in Iowa and having my parents nearby is just really special to me.
Mother of 4 children and 5th-generation Iowan, Chris Conoyer says she's honored and excited to be second in command of the state.
With your background in the Senate, how are you going to use your skills, your experience to further the governor's agenda in the legislature?
Well, you know, I have been very supportive of the governor's agenda since I've been in the Senate. So, you know, I think we align very, very well there. You know, my school board background, I've done a lot of education bills, and really, I think my experience as a school board member as well as a substitute teacher, I've brought a lot of good insights, and a mother of children that are in the K-12 system, as well as the Regent schools. I think I've had some good contributions to the legislation that we've brought forward, but also with my technology background and my business background.
Conoyer has served in the Iowa Senate since 2019. She says she never had any interest in politics until 2012, when the Sandy Hook shooting happened and she had children in first grade at the time. That tragedy, she says, shaped her passion for school safety.
We've certainly come a long way since December of 2012 in terms of just the physical security of schools, but also adding SROs and mental health and anti-bullying and so many programs that I think are important to make sure our kids are safe at school. Because if you don't feel safe, you can't learn, and that's really been an ongoing priority of mine.
Governor Reynolds says energy, infrastructure, and maternal health will be some of the big priorities in 2025. She believes Conoyer will help further those priorities.
I love the fact that she's a business owner, so she has really experience in the private sector as well as state government. And she's a get-it-done kind of person. And I think, you know, when you combine all of that, that's somebody that I was very excited about having a part of my team. We're both very competitive. We love getting in there and making a difference and really trying to make things better, leaving it a little bit better than we found it.
When the former lieutenant governor resigned, it spurred speculation that you are going to run for re-election. Are you going to run for re-election, and will Chris Conoyer be your running mate?
Well, I'm not going to make that decision right now. I mean, we're getting ready to go into the next legislative session. I'm working on putting my program together. We're working on the budget. I'm really excited about working with the new administration.
Laura Terrell, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Governor Reynolds will need to call a special election to replace Conoyer's Senate seat. She said she's working with Senate leadership right now, and a date has not been set.